Okay, before you start hating on me in the comments section because of the title of the video, I really want you to watch this clip.
But how huge is huge?
Well, that's the special thing about it. There is no limit. It's an unattainable goal. You're chasing tomorrow. By the time you get there, it's today.
Do you think this is a healthy mindset? Do you think that the right thing to do when you're on self-improvement is to obsess over the gym to such an insane level? You start doing all of these like different unnecessary things just for the sake of looking slightly bigger. You start eating like fucking shit. You start to sacrifice your health for the sake of having 0.001% more muscle mass. You start taking steroids. God forbid you start taking steroids, which will lead to even more issues later down the line. Just for the sake of looking bigger. Do you genuinely think it's worth it? Because from my take, the gym and weightlifting as a whole, fitness as a whole, matter of fact, it's meant to enhance my self-improvement journey. It's not meant to be like the direct focus of it. Now, of course, our values are probably a little bit different, right? If you want to become like a downright bodybuilder and you've always had the dream to become a Mr. Olympian, then like, this video is not for you. This video is not for you because you come from different values and you have different beliefs. But for those who are on self-improvement and want to like have a healthy physique, for those who want to live a life worth living, where your body is actually capable to do stuff outside the gym, then listen up, because weightlifting, it's not meant to be your main priority. Think of self-improvement as like this graph. Think of it as a video game skill, right? Where you have all of these small different stats that you grow, right? For most of you, for most bodybuilders, like, you know how the graph looks like, right? You have all of these different attributes. And for most like bodybuilders, their graph looks like this. Each point like represents a different part of their self-improvement journey. Like this, I don't fucking know. This is like your purpose. This is making money. This is all of that stuff. For these guys, weightlifting's over here. Sure, they look big. You know, they look big. They got the muscle. They have all of that stuff. But overall, it's like, is it really worth it? They're lacking in literally every other aspect of their life. That's why they feel so shit outside the gym. If you've had the same issue recently where you feel like a fucking outcast around normal people, this is exactly fucking why. It's because you turned from self-improvement into self-obsession. And now that you try to go out into the world and speak to people who aren't into self-improvement, you start feeling fucking weird. You start to stick out. This is exactly why, my friend. And I'm telling you this from experience because I've had the exact same thing just a couple of years ago. Before I started lifting weights, I was a complete fucking stick man, right? My arms used to look like chopsticks. And the only thing I wanted to talk about was lifting weights. The only thing that was in my mind was, how do I stop looking like a fucking twig? How do I prevent my arms from being so skinny? Literally, the only thing I wanted to talk about was just gym, lifting weights, lifting fucking weights. And I became like this NPC who only had one text line. You know how like these level 1 NPCs in video games who only have like one sentence built in them. I was the equivalent of that motherfucker, right? Because all I wanted to talk about was lifting weights. Every conversation I would have with my friends at school would always come down to weightlifting. All I wanted to know was, what's the best way to gain weight, bro? I'm a skinny kid. How do I bulk, bro? What is the most optimal way to train my medius lateralis? And it's like, is this really the lifestyle you want to live? Wouldn't it be better for you? Wouldn't it be better for you to grow all of the attributes? Wouldn't it be better to grow all of them instead of just focusing on one? Isn't it better to grow all of the stats like in a video game? Which character in a video game is better? The one who only maxes out one stat, but all of the other ones lack? Or the character that slowly, progressively starts to grow all of them? Like, these fucking bodybuilders who only care about the gym, they're like Pekka from Clash Royale. It's like, they're like this big fucking chunky guy who hits you hard. Like, they have the strength. If they hit you once, they hit you hard. But they're slow as fuck, you know, you're not gonna use it all the time. And it's like, that's the life of a fucking bodybuilder. They're like a fucking Pekka from Clash Royale. All they have is the size and the strength. Nothing else. Nothing fucking else. And this is why I want you to prevent this from happening. This is why I don't want you to do this mistake. Like, think of how fucking ironic and funny I used to be, right? Imagine you have this small fucking kid, because back then I was the size of a kid, right? Before I started lifting, I was like fucking 14. I was literally so tiny, right? Imagine you have this kid whose arms look like chopsticks. I looked like fucking Minecraft skeletons. I was insanely skinny. And all he could talk about is lifting weights. Think of how fucking ironic that is for a second. Nobody would take me seriously back then. And I didn't understand why. I really didn't understand why. And this is the thing that a lot of guys on the internet don't understand. Because when most teenagers start doing their self-improvement channel, you can just tell in their fucking eyes that they haven't done the thing that it takes to be a self-improvement YouTuber. Anything, matter of fact. Anything, really. This video is about gym in particular, right? But this applies to all of this stuff out here. If you don't have the work to back up for what you stand for, then, like, of course nobody's gonna take you seriously. This is exactly why you shouldn't turn self-improvement into a self-obsession. Live a life that's actually worth fucking living. Don't become like this fucking mini Pekka that we talked about, right? Don't become this guy who only cares about the one thing. Don't become the guy who only cares about fitness. You mustn't be this empty human being. Like, grow actual experience. Do more than just one activity in your life. Enjoy it. Don't live an empty life where you're enslaved to your fucking work, where you're enslaved to building muscle mass at the gym, where you're enslaved to your online business. Live a life worth living. Go fucking outside, brother. Speak to more people. Be a social human being. Don't be this like empty fucking person we just talked about, right? Because of course you're gonna repulse people away from you. Wait, that's not a good sentence. That's not how you make sentences in English, but you get the general point that I'm trying to make here, right? When you start to obsess over the gym and you make it your whole priority, you become like this empty human being. And I'm not saying that prioritizing the gym is a bad thing. No, of course, build your fucking muscle, bro. Okay, it's pretty ironic because the lighting in my room is pretty shit. Trust me when I tell you, I have a pretty good physique for a 16-year-old. But then, generally speaking, I also prioritize lifting weights. But I didn't do it in like this obsessive way. I still trained basketball. I still trained boxing. I was still into all of my different hobbies. The weightlifting was like cherry on top. It was the cherry on top that made it was the cherry on top that made all of this better. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It should be an enhancement to your self-improvement. Self-improvement shouldn't be enhancement to your fitness. Fitness should be the enhancement of your self-improvement. Don't swap these two around, brother. Please, trust me when I tell you, I really don't want you to suffer through the exact same mistake that I did. I had to learn this the hard way, right? I had to be this annoying, like, a gym bro guy that I just described for me to learn this mistake. But I see so many fucking guys on the internet act like this. Not even on the internet. In my gym, so many fucking guys behave in this way. And it's just so, like, annoying. It's so annoying, and it makes me just feel so bad because they're gonna have to find that out the hard way as well. And I'm just trying to do the best for you, right? I genuinely want the best for you right now. You don't hear this a lot from like the self-improvement guys because they say, oh, you're left, you're on your own. You're the only one who can make this work. Yes, but I still want to help you. We still want to help you. And I really, really, like, I pray to Jesus every day that this doesn't happen to you, okay? Please, brother. Don't fall for the exact same mistake. You can still be on self-improvement. You can still do all that stuff. That stuff is great. But remember what I said earlier, right? It's meant to be self-improvement, not self-obsession. You fucking donkey. Please don't become this fucking dork. Hamza, okay, most of you probably don't watch Hamza anymore because he makes like these weird, inconsistent videos, right? But recently he used this term called the self-improvement autist, where he just sits home alone. He spends his time alone, right? All he does is like do this self-improvement tasks. But he doesn't live like a normal human being anymore. He turned from self-improvement into self-obsession, and now when he goes outside to speak to other people, now he feels like he's fucking outcasted. And he uses self-improvement as a coping mechanism. That's the best part. For most of you, you don't care about speaking to other people. Socializing is a major part of self-improvement because imagine you've already achieved the goals you've set for yourself, right? Imagine you already make $10,000 a month. Imagine you already have the dream physique you've ever wanted. But when you go outside and you speak to people, it's like you're still the same like social loner you used to be before you started self-improvement. So I'm going to say this one more fucking time so that it really implants into your goddamn brain. Because you're smart, brother. You're fucking smart, right? You've been watching this video for like, what, 8 minutes now? You're a smart motherfucker, right? So you know that self-improvement is not just such a vague thing that you see people talk about on the internet. There's more to it. And just please don't become like this self-improvement nerd. This like literal self-improvement autist where all you care about is just improving your life. You should have some time to enjoy it. And it's confusing, right? The first time I heard this, I also got a little bit offended because everybody's been telling you to get your life together, to get your shit in order. And now you have people telling you that you should take things easy and spend some time to socialize and relax? What? Of course, it's a little bit confusing at first, but once you start to actually live a life worth living, you start to go outside and you stop sitting in your fucking room watching self-improvement videos, which you're not going to adapt in the first place. That's when that's when shit turns 180. When you actually go outside and you apply all of that information you've learned from your little self-improvement videos into your real fucking world, into your actual fucking life. That's when things start to make a difference. Okay, I really overextended that video. So I really hope you learned something valuable today. If you have further questions and you want to talk to me directly, just join my Discord. I promise to answer every single fucking question I get. Unless it's some stupid shit. But okay, I'm not going to waste any of your time anymore. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep working, brother, and take care.